Here's a comment I just posted on the latest video. Hey warmongers, this is over. I just learned that Kerry and Obama deliberately deceived the American people about the timeline of how fast Syria gave okay to the UN inspectors. They have been caught red-handed perpetrating a fraud in order to sell this war to the American people. And when we get this out on a large scale, you're done. I want to thank Matthew Russell Lee and also Phyllis Bennis. That's how I learned about it from Fair's Counterspin. I heard Phyllis Bennis mention it.
I spoke on Thursday with Syrian Foreign Minister Muallim, and I made it very clear to him that if the regime, as he argued, had nothing to hide, then their response should be immediate transparency, immediate access, not shelling. Their response needed to be unrestricted and immediate access. Failure to permit that, I told him, would tell its own story. Instead, for 5 days, the Syrian regime refused to allow the UN investigators access to the site of the attack that would allegedly exonerate them. Instead, it attacked the area further, shelling it and systematically destroying evidence. That is not the behavior of a government that has nothing to hide. That is not the action of a regime eager to prove to the world that it had not used chemical weapons. In fact, the regime's belated decision to allow access is too late, and it's too late to be credible.
Secretary Kerry deliberately misled people about what the timeline was and stated that the timeline proved some level of guilt by the Syrian government. His claim was, we asked and the UN asked for access to the site on Thursday. They didn't grant that access until Sunday. Therefore, they were delaying for days because they were trying to hide something. They're trying to make sure that the inspectors can't do their job. The facts are that on that Thursday, the UN announced publicly that they were going to request access. The actual request did not arrive until Saturday, when Angela Kane, the disarmament chief of the United Nations, arrived in Damascus. On Sunday, the Syrian government said, yes, the inspectors can go in, and on Monday, the inspectors were on the ground doing their work.
A formal request is being sent by the United Nations to the government of Syria in this regard.
And it arrived on Saturday in the form of Angela Kane. I just wanted you to respond to that.
Angela Kane was conveying this, and she did arrive on Saturday.
Oh.
If this was on the level, why is Kerry going before the American people selling us a lie about how it took too long for Syria to okay? They were asked on Saturday. They said okay on Sunday. They wanted the inspectors in. Hey, look at this. They wanted to keep the inspectors in. The United States didn't want them to do that. Okay? And Kerry made a big deal acting like Syria had something to hide, and it was 4 or 5 days, and therefore we know that they're wrong. No, you're wrong, Kerry. Obama, you're wrong. It's over. This is the same kind of dishonesty about UN inspectors before the Iraq War. Remember, George W. Bush claimed Saddam didn't even let the inspectors in.
The first inspections began on November 27th.
President Bush is just flat out lying about the reality of what happened right before the Iraq War.
Which was strange because I made it clear that let the inspectors in or else we'll remove you from power. And he didn't believe me, sadly.
He repeated that lie several times and major media allowed him to get away with it. And now we see the same kind of game of lying about the UN inspectors from Obama and Kerry. Remember my previous video where Obama rebuffed Syria's acceptance, claiming that it was too late to be credible? And now we find this out. And for those naysayers saying we can't impeach Obama, I think fraud makes a good case for impeachment, don't you? And I want everyone to know this as fast as possible. I'm asking for your help. Please use the YouTube tools below to share this video. I've been talking about advertising. I'm going to put a link in the video description to the PayPal account for Representative Press. All donations will go towards advertising these videos to prevent this war, up until the point we know that we're in the clear and this is over.
Can you tell us what is the Secretary General's position on whether a military strike would be legal, legitimate, or helpful?
I would simply say what I just said a little earlier, that the Secretary General has underscored the importance of the UN Charter.
Please share the link noobamawar.com with everyone you can. We've caught them red-handed.